Hey, good morning, everybody. Sorry, we had a slight technical issue. I forgot that StreamYard is messed up on my. I have to clear my cookies or something. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna have to fix that before the next time. So I had to log into an incognito window to start this all off today. So there you go. Yeah, let me clear off some of this stuff. Take that banner off of there. Okay. Yeah, and I'm still futzing with something in my OBS has forgotten itself as well. So I'm trying to get some things ready to view there. Let's see, now we are. Except I hear, of course, there's a car on the ground. What, of course, another technical detail. I don't know why this thing's on the ground back here. All right. Yeah, brand new cars. Okay, we're not in the train room, but we're running trains. And I've got, let's get this up here. Scale 24 miles an hour. There's Rocky. And tilt down a little bit. And see. Oh, there it goes again. What is going on with this car? All right, brand new car does not like something here. All right, what's in timeout land? Over here with Rocky. Okay. There we go. Okay. What? Okay. We're going again? Yep. It's just reversing my view here. Okay. So, yeah. There we go. Let's run around and see who is here. There's the active chat here. First in that I see is Dan from Ohio. Liz from Windsor Valley Railroad, welcome. Pete Motley, good morning. Good morning to you. And then let's see, Pete, JP. Good morning, JP. And I saw Dwight snuck in here at the bottom here. Yep, I see Rocky, and then, yep, there's Dwight. Okay, that's all I see in the chat right now, although I see 11 people watching. So yeah, we've got a little train running here with some of my new models, part of the mail call. Klondike, okay. Good morning to you. So you see running right past there, the camera right now is some more Railsmith cars that I got just this week. They just came in. So let me switch and see what the overhead camera looks like. Everything good, except it's reversed. Never can remember its brain there. Okay, let's switch over to that. And these are these big sky blue passenger coaches. I actually got a double order of these, so there's some repeats in numbers, but I just have to deal with that. So I got in 6 Big Sky Blue cars. Along with, there's a dome coach in there, which is about to come past. There's a coach. There's another coach. There's the dome coach. And there's the diner, Lake Wenatchee. And then I got two Northern Pacific coaches. Okay, I forgot. I was looking at the wrong camera. We'll see them come by shortly again. There's those cars. And let me switch over to Rocky's viewpoint. Yep. And Nitro Star. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you. Yeah, these green cars are nice. These green cars fit in well with the Seattle, Spokane, Portland, and Seattle line cars, although those are a little bit different green. So let's see this 4141 come past again, and then I will talk about some other cars. We're going to have to stop the train, and I will have to move the camera around. Oh, okay. So let me switch up the view here. Got the overhead view. And I got a couple of new things here since the last time I showed everybody. I have acquired one of these DDOX flat cars with Abrams and similar one for the Humvees. Those are all painted up. So here's what those look like. Those Abrams look like painted up. It's not too bad for just a simple paint job. And to compare those against something that was kind of professionally done, here's a professionally done one. If I wanted to do some weathering, you could see this is the Kato model, and this that I assembled, and this is a pre-done Aretec, I think. So there's that. And then I also, in the meantime, got this Dragon Wagon painted up. And well, it's mostly okay. The tires could have been done a little bit better, and I slapped some paint over here, but you really can't see it. So when you put it on the train, nobody will know. And then the actual part. So this is what they would put. And I think this size is not really intended for an Abrams tank, but I haven't fixed the axles yet, so they're just sitting in there. But that to go on there, like so, and a tank could go on there, like so. Okay, so and then I got another kit, another one of those, because I figured I need another one, and I'm going to do some painting. So those all come out in Microtrain to start to do 3D printing stuff. So this is what that looks like before, off the 3D printer. The trailer, rear axles with wheels, and a little detail piece for there's a crane that sits in there. So all those have to be carefully popped out. So that's all that stuff I got. What else did I get? Yes. So another thing that came in was something I've been expecting was, okay, I think previously we saw the Bradley. So I only have one of these Bradleys. That's professionally done. I found somebody who was 3D printing them, and I got 6 more. So all I had to do is paint those up, and they come the turret, the body already done, and they've already cleaned off most of the stuff. So another time in the paint booth for me. So the military train is coming right along. In fact, the one thing I'm doing is I'm really missing a lot of, I need some more flat cars, and they're not easy to find. So that's where those are. So let me get back to the chat and see who we've got in. I see a number of people have joined since I looked back, and the chat has been lively. And what do we got? Going back. Yep, JP's right, which is fine. The Dragon Wagon will actually be have repeat flat cars. Let's see. Okay, Brad, Willow Creek Industrial Spur. Welcome to the show. Steve, getting back on track with Steve. Just a shout out, Steve is running his 500th. As he gets closer to 500 subscribers, he and Roxy are running their 500 subscriber giveaway. And they've got some nice prizes over there. So get on over to Steve's channel and check that out if you haven't already seen that. So, okay, let's resume the roll call. Hot Dog Pilot Andy is here from the UK. Faulkner Station Engage. Thanks for joining the show, Daz. I don't know what happened there. Something happened. Okay. Are we back? Okay. Let's go back to let's go back. Let's see. So I think we had 21. Then we got 20 because we're down to 18. People probably leaving. Okay. We're back. Don't worry. I don't know what happened there. Hey, just uploaded a new video. Actually got a mail call. Hey, cool, Daz. Thanks, Steve. Yeah, this 3D printing is nice, although I don't have my own, and I don't know that I'm going to get one. Just another hobby for me. Okay. Yep. Okay. And morning, Julianne. Okay, I will give Ben a treat. And everybody, say hi to Mom. She's watching today. Okay. Yeah, Ben does get plenty of treats. He's always jonesing for food. When he's not jonesing for food, he's pretending that he's the most neglected animal on the planet. Okay, so what else do we get? Well, we got quite a bit of things, didn't we? And so I also got this. So years ago, and they still make these, but they're hard to find. There's a company, and where did I put that? Oh, it's over there. Okay, AccuTrack made one of these, and it is a speedometer. And if you put it over the rails, wait for the train to get out of the way, or not. Okay, if you put it over the rails, then as it goes past there, you will be able to see, in theory, how fast the train is going. Now, I don't know how well it works with cars, so I'm going to stop things for a moment here over on the other side. We're going to switch up views to the Rocky view, and we're going to hand up a guy to pull cars off of here without dumping them on the floor. Okay, so we got old George Bush sitting there, and then I'm gonna ramp it up to what should be 100 scale miles an hour, and wait for it to come by again because it said it was 0.6. Okay, here we go. And it says 97, so that's pretty good for it's being warmed up. I need to figure out if I can change a view here. So let's transition back to the overhead messy view and take this other camera. I don't know that I have room, so we're going to detach it from the tripod. Let's see if I can put that, if it'll stay. If it'll stay without being pulled to the side. Yeah, okay. So here we go. Transition back. You can see 97 scale miles per hour. It's a little bit close, but it's the best I can do. Let's move some clutter out of the way. There you go. So that's the AccuTrack 2. And it does a pretty good job. But I saw this young guy wanted to do better, at least in sorry, I think that's a little blurry. Not sure that I'm going to be able to do much better. So 95. So I have, JP, great question. I have speed matched these things. So right now it's running, it was running last night around 99 at, oh wait, there we go. Now it's 99. Okay, there we go. 102. Yeah, there's no switch for O scale. Sorry. I don't know that they have. Well, between AccuTrack and this new guy that's just 3D printed these and made the circuitry here, he does not have, there's no room to put this over an O scale thing and get that done. In fact, it would have to be larger. I'm sure people have done it. Yeah, there's another thing, a speed stick for any scale. But I just wanted to shout this guy out. He's just doing the okay, so there you go. This is very useful for speed matching. In fact, you can see it's running a little hot. So that takes me to another topic, probably pretty quickly here, about speed matching itself. So this guy, Nathan Olson, who I only saw, he posted this in, he posted that he was selling the ScaleSync in a channel in Facebook, and just did a limited run of these things. And I don't know if he sent these things out to a printer shop or he printed these himself, but they actually look pretty good. And I forget how much I paid him. I think it was like 60 or 70 bucks. So yeah, cameras are a little bit delayed. I think my computer is running hot with everything running here. So yeah, what you get with this is a nice little enclosure that will span 2 N-scale rails, and it also will you can fit HO double stack intermodal cars can go under here, which is also nice. It's he says durably 3D printed. I could say it feels durable, and there's a little enclosure in the front here where the 9-volt battery goes. And then I'm sure I did not open it up, and not really sure how you might go about doing that. It looks like got some screws on the front here that take this back part of the tunnel out, and then you can get inside to undo those screws if you wanted to look at the circuitry, which I don't at the moment. So I've used this to recalibrate several of my locomotives, and probably the most useful thing I saw was in his instructions. It said how to go about doing speed matching. I thought it was kind of interesting. He basically, his whole idea, and I like this idea, is, and let's slow this down. We'll take this down to a reasonable train speed of 55. And really, the reason why you have 100, which most trains don't even do unless they're about to derail, is just so you can add extra power when you have a grade or you're pulling too much. So there you go, slightly over the old 1970s 55 speed limit. And that's at speed step 55. So back to JP's thing, which I still left on the screen here. I have matched this so that the throttle setting basically corresponds to the real speed. So what you do is you take the throttle. The first thing you take the throttle all the way up to speed step 99. That's on, at least on my Digitrax one. I don't know what it might be on NCE, but take it up to 99, which is the highest readout on here, and they dither with some stuff so that each number actually, some of them can have two, because it's 128 speed steps between 0 and 99. So you first match it so that you get the train running right around, and right now it's off a little bit. It's still at 102. It could be tuned down a little bit, but I'm not going to try doing that on this live TV. So you get the 99 set, and then you go down to 50. So there's CV values. There's three ones. There's a starting voltage. You do that. You turn on until the train just moves, and you set the starting voltage. Then you go and set the 99 point. Then you go and set the 50 point. That does a reasonable approximation of getting you scale miles per hour. If you want more of a challenge, then what you can do is go into the what do they call it? I'll get Decoder Pro up here in a moment. Let's see if we can program this. And yeah, you can do it with the speed table. So let me share the desktop here. And that's what I'm talking about. You could adjust these things, and there's a way to pin the lowest one and pin the highest one, and then make these things line up. But what I did was I just did it in the basic speed control, and this is in Decoder Pro. That's JMRI, and it seems like that we were running a little bit hot there, so I'm going to take this and see if this will work. I just tuned that down to 110, and let's go over to here, and I'm programming on the main. I'll get back to the chat in a second. Let's say 50.77, and let's take this back up to insanity mode speed. Let's see what we're getting here. 98. So it's a little low. Let's take that back to 112. Programming this on the main right now. It's the only engine on here. There we go. 100. And let's take the train back down to 50. It's at 50 right now. And I think it was reading just a little high here. Yeah, 51. So let's tick that down. It was at 56 volts. I'll try 55, and it takes twice as long to get over here because now it's running half the speed, right? Okay, so if we transition back, you'll see that I have written midpoint voltage of 55 here. And I come back over 50. 50 miles per hour. I think that's pretty good. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to slow that down to, I'm going to get it closer. Then we're going to slow it down to 30 and see how close the calibration is without going to a speed table. So I've got set to speed step 30 right now, which is over yard speed. And that's not too bad. 30.82. Again, without messing with the speed table here, which you could spend all day getting these things fine-tuned. But this gives you a very, very great approximation of getting your speeds set to real speeds. So if you have an operational session or something in telling people, oh, yard speed is 20 miles an hour, then that means 20. Or mainline speed is 50, then that's going up to 50. So let me go back over to the chat here. Hey, John 2, thanks. Thanks for joining. Who else did I miss? Is that it? And JP posted this one video. It's not going to be too easy to go. Let me see. Can I click on that? I'm not even sure. Yeah, I can't even click on that link from StreamYard, but maybe you can for those of you who are sitting there and watching that over in YouTube land. Okay. Okay, so there we got it. Yep, it's fine. People that with the little wrench can share what they want. What did I miss? Something about John 2 and Dwight going on. John 2 only works on it in his stream. Well, I do some work in between streams. Yep, speed table does become cumbersome. But I noticed some other things. So in there is also something known as a forward and reverse trim. And depending on what decoder you have, you may or may not have forward and reverse trim available to you in the basic mode. And unfortunately, because I have decoders that are various decoders, in fact, I should have been doing a lot better documentation job of what decoder is in what engine, because now I probably have lost track of that. And it's really a guess when you're actually re-adding these things back into JMRI. Which decoder are you working on? Anyways, I don't think I'm going to take us through doing a speed match of another locomotive. I've got the 8444 sitting here. Something, either my computer is hot or something, but it's not liking stuff too much. And I'm almost out of battery too. I don't know why. The reality is I need to trade this Mac Air in, and I need to get a Mac Pro laptop. Maybe I'll do that after next month. In a couple weeks, we get our Nike bonuses, even though they're greatly reduced this year. I saved the flimsy for the decoder and write the local on. Yeah. Yep. So that would be a good idea, JP. Get a gas-powered computer like a real person. Okay. I think JJ been lagging today. Yep. Manufacturer numbers, not sure how to determine what the decoder version number means though. Yeah. So Decoder Pro attempts to do a good job of this, but the problem is doesn't know when only that certain manufacturers. And if you go and say, "Hey, guess the decoder," and you get every Digitrax decoder that there is, because it has whatever their manufacturer code is. So yeah, let's go and talk about, yeah, for those of you on the East Coast, Dwight says he might be sleeping in. There's Dwight's again. I'm trying to do this. Hot Dog Pilot Andy says he's gonna try to do his show. He's gonna do his show tomorrow, which is the 20th, and that's when he said he was going to be back. So for you, those of you on the East Coast, I think his show starts at 8 o'clock in the morning, East Coast time. Yeah, you do need to tell it what version. You do need to do that. It's not that it could be risky. I think if you go beyond just the basic CVs, you're asking for trouble. Most of the basic motor controls and things like that, those are the same across all the vendors. But then it's kind of a hit and miss on anything else. I mean, there's supposed to be a standard on all these things, right? There are certain CVs that are supposed to work like they do, but yeah. So probably what I had to do is a more investigation into what decoders I have on what would be nice. So this locomotive has been going around for a while now. It's holding steady at 30 miles an hour, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. So yeah. Anyways, I don't have a link for this Nathan Olson who did this. Let me see if I can pull that up. See, I think he responded to, I posted back to him that this was a great product here. And I'm looking to see where I did that, in what place. There we go. Let me see how I could share that. Yeah, of course, there's always somebody who wants something else. Yeah, let me see if I can share this desktop, and you can see that's his setup there. That's it. and it's actually a different, this is a different version. He's made improvements, and he had a different readout here. You can't really read that in the video there. We're sitting side by side with the AccuTrack, and it's not even the AccuTrack 2. This is just an AccuTrack. And of course, I said this. He said, great to hear. Then this other person said, hey, why don't you do kilometers per hour? The rest of the world uses kilometers per hour. And then Nathan responded, one, it's the thing about the shipping is a lot, which is true. So that brings me to another point I'll mention in a second. Anyways, I don't think he's going to get options like the AccuTrack 2 has. Let's get back to here. And go back over to my StreamYard. I think at 30 miles an hour, that'll give me enough time to build the second level before it gets there. Dan? Yeah, I watched that unboxing, Andy. I'm going to definitely check out your live stream after the fact to see that running. Can't wait to see that. Cool. Well, he did collect orders for these things. I'm not sure if he's still collecting them. He had a very simple mechanism for taking these. He's just a builder. I mean, he works does some work as electronic stuff. What is it snowing there yet, JJ? Why would it be snowing here? Tomorrow it's going to rain and be in the mid 70s. So let me get to some of the last things here. Let's update about the contests. So Pete Motley is the winner of the N scale. I gave him the engine 2 weeks ago. And I'm actually going over to his home if we're still on. I'm going to help him, help him look at planning some changes he wants to do on his layout. Hail and Big Bear yesterday. Okay. Strange weather. Yeah, sometimes it was been almost 100 last week, and now it's back to 81 today, which is pleasant and nice by my. I like in the 80s, low 80s. I don't know what time I will hook up with you after, Pete. I'll hook up with you after the show and coordinate on the time. No, Brad probably does not have his layout but so get back. So Pete has got his. The other Andy Henley. Instead of a T-shirt, I ordered something from him from a local model train company. And let's see, I got him a little Santa Fe little pin and 2 Microtrains boxcars, Great Northern, weathered. So probably worked out to be about the same as it would have been for shipping. Nobody got, let's see. Yes. Steve, at Getting Back on Track with Steve, your T-shirt is in the manufacturing process now. Probably won't ship until next month. I do have the receipt over on my table there. And so your shirt will be on its way, and it's going to ship right to you. So saved on the cross shipping there. JP and Liz, your tapes, train tapes are in the mail. Priority Express, they should be there in a day or two. I have the tracking for them. So they're coming to you. And Brad, Willow Creek, Industrial Spur, your locomotive is on its way. Yeah, for those who haven't checked it out, Gelsma Graphics did this shirt here. And actually, the T-shirt, this is a nice, I think it's a Port Authority shirt. It's pretty good. The logos are the expensive part because it's embroidery on the stitch machine, so that takes the most time, and it's custom. Mine's Great Northern JJ right there, which actually the little place where you can enter in the characters, it doesn't give you that, but they did good. It said, oh, okay, he really wanted to write Northern there instead of Northern with no E, Northern. So yeah, Gelsma, so check them out if you want some no problem. No problem at all. Does the polo have a tight gather on the sleeves? It's not a tight one. And this is a large, I think. Seems to be fairly good. Steve went the other route. Steve went, Steven getting back on track, went with a t-shirt. He said it's more his style. I said, okay. For me, it's loose fitting, but I have small arms or small radius. Now they didn't do this hat. I bought this hat somewhere else, but they did do another hat. And I told you about the hats before. I'm going to have to switch something here because I am not getting power. There we go. Now we're getting power. All right. Yeah, so had to lose my second monitor there, but that's okay. And it looks like by doing that, cameras might be, our cameras screwed up? Nope, they still look okay. All right, and the voice is okay. All right. Yeah, so let's see what's coming up next week. Next week is the last Saturday of the month. So we'll be running trains in the train room. I'm not sure. We are making progress on some temporary track to the second level. I'll be able to run up to the second level and then reverse and run back down if we're lucky. But I don't know. Work may call. And then 2 weeks, that's basically the bonus one. So I think we'll try to see, we may be playing a game live. Might be playing a game live or something else. And then 3 weeks will be July's photos of the month. So that's what we've got lined up here. I'm going to, let's see, what am I going to be doing today? Beyond, I am going to go over to Pete's house and then we'll see what it smells like. And then, hey, that is cool announcement. I can finally run from my Helix base to Loma Linda on my layout. That's a cool update. JP, let's get some pictures up in Roy Smith's Facebook group, so that we could be in the next layout photos. And then let's see. Yeah, so I'll be working on that. I may or may not. I think tomorrow I can spell it. I can spell it all the way over here. I think you meant smell it. Nice, JP. Okay. All right. So what else am I doing? I'm probably going to be. I've got 6 of these little Bradleys to paint up. So I got to get a primer down on them, and it'd be fairly easy to paint. Should go quite quickly. I think I might need to take a look and see the details on this. Probably don't have those little pieces on them, so I need to figure out if those are part of the printing process or are intentional. I'm thinking they're not supposed to be there, but I'll figure that out and get those cleaned up. If I look at this guy here, you see it doesn't have little things extending off of there. Yes, I did wash these. I, however, forgot, and I don't know if these have been washed, but I did not wash the other version. And the paint looks fine. Paint on this looks fine. What I didn't do, I didn't clean up all this stuff. But it's on the underside. I said, nobody's going to see it. I do see some places where you can see the primer, but nobody's going to see that. So, yeah, I will actually wash these up after I get them broken out, and then I'll throw them into my ultrasonic cleaner just to shake off anything. The detail on this is fine enough. I believe this to be resin printed, but it does feel like the similar kind of material. And here's that in scale. Here's that same vehicle. What's a little annoying about this is the details are great, and because the wheels don't come off, you got to hand paint around there, and I'm not the best at that. What color did I use? I used Tamiya light sand for this, and they're black. I got a black color to hand paint the wheels on here. So you look at that black versus this was these axles were sprayed black. Turned out really well. And then these ones, you've got to hand paint those. I guess not bad for me. I'm not the best. Hey, Closet Branch, welcome. Okay. So there you have it. Somehow we've made it to almost the end of the top of the hour, even with a couple of snafus, like a late start and a blue screen of death in the middle. Well, not quite. And then I've got this power thing. I'm really going to probably think about changing out my laptop. This thing is getting on the edge of what it's possible doing. Yeah, I've seen you've also experienced some challenges there. I think there's some tricks you can use with having little blocks to block so that you can. So if you're, it doesn't do well on here, but maybe if you put a shield or something, a shield, try to shield off the other part. But it's really hard to figure out, okay, what should be the tire and what should be the wheel there. Yeah, so I should shut off my Docker. Docker's taking up his stuff. And but the other thing is thanks, Pete. Are you sure it's not something else? Okay. Yeah, but I just had to figure out what that means. The second hand. So you gotta have your piece that you're painting held by something, and then you have to have a shield it with one hand and then paint it with the other one. Since we didn't get 3 or 4 hands, maybe aliens are much better fine scale painters with some other hands coming out of their body. Yeah. For me, I don't really care that I don't need to do touch-ups on this. I think from that distance, I mean, this is about as close as you're going to get. This is good enough. And the other thing is that, to be honest, they've got their blast shields down on these things. They didn't even, there's no simulated windows. But this is good. For NCL, this is good. And certainly it costs a lot less than that. So this one tank costs quite a bit, and I've got 3 of these. Oh, I do have 4 more Abrams coming at some point. Have a click in feature, then pop it off. Yeah, well, since this is how I receive these, or basically, like I said, this is how they come out of the box from Microtrains. I'm actually just happy that I even painted these. But yeah. So there you have it. I think we're going to wrap this one up. And say thanks for watching, everybody. Please like and subscribe. We're actually at even more subscribers now. Let me check what we're at right now. If I go over to my page, 441. So we'll be doing a 500 drawing maybe by the end of the year. I got to get some, if I got some other content out, we would be, I think it looks like I'm adding about 20 subs every month or so. So yeah. And then I'll have a new challenge if I'm going to follow up with my threat to give away the one back wheel is missing. It needs to be a 442. Okay. Yeah. So everybody, yeah. I've got the 3 flat car with the crane set. Yeah. So I also have 3. I've got the log cars with the crane that I also need to paint up. And I've got another assemble and paint for a maintenance of way Union Pacific 5 flat car with loads. So there we go. Okay. So let's see if we can get back to it. Because we got to let our friend get in on the picture here. Let me get it set up here. Where is he at? Oh my God, he's massive. Okay. Rocky in big mode. There's Rocky. And he's massive. He's massive. Okay, but he's saying, we'll get this show over. Let me go back over to OBS. And I'll be back. And just for Andy, get to the chopper. Okay, take care of everybody. What brushes do I have? I have some very expensive brushes. They were over $10 a piece, but they're pretty good. It's the operator that's the issue. But you do need good brushes for painting. Okay, so that's going to be it for today. Let's get us over to here. It will say, thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and have a great weekend, all of you.